Day 698 being Christopher Cruz. So I was at Starbucks and I was reading that book. Why can I never remember it? It's about using your voice. Something Heaven. Anyway, it's a really good book. And he started talking about purpose. And I was thinking about purpose, and the way I present purpose is like the person you're born to be, the work you're born to do, the difference you're born to make in the world. And that can, the person you're born to be consists of your identity and your values. The work you're meant to do in the world consists of your gifts and your vehicle. And the change you're meant to make in the world consists of the problem you solve and the people you solve it for. And all that makes really good sense, but it's just so blah, it's just so I don't know, I feel like I'm in a doctor's office or something like that. Like, there's no creativity to it, even though it's brilliant and it's so valuable. And I'm like, but really, where does being a warrior fit into that? I get it, when you find your purpose, you become a warrior. And then I started thinking, how can I repurpose this? How can I explain this in a different way that helps someone step into the battle that we're in, the story that we're in, that, how can I help these people realize that you're a warrior of God? And then God just gave me the answer, the inspiration. This doesn't mean anything to anyone but me, really. But I was just like, oh my God, I get it. These people come in, and because they're believers, they understand that there's a spiritual war going on. We are fighting a spiritual battle, and it's us versus the enemy. And the enemy is the problem that you're meant to solve in the world. And your identity is your greatest self. Your values are the things that you stand for, right? So a warrior, they have certain things that they stand for. They have certain things that they believe in. So those are your values. Your gifts are the weapon. If you're a warrior, you have a weapon. Maybe you have a bow and arrow. Maybe you have a sword. Maybe you have a dagger, something like that. But your weapon are your gifts. That's what you use to fight the enemy. And then your vehicle is the tribe that you're building. It's your army of people. And so there's you on one side, right? So you're this warrior that fights for something that you really believe in, which are your values, and has these gifts, which are your weapons. And you've got your own tribe of people, your own army that's fighting the enemy. On the other side of the battlefield is the enemy, right? So that's the devil, and it's the specific problem that the devil's causing in the world that you are willing to fight. You're willing to fight that specific problem. Maybe it is wasted potential, maybe it's homelessness, maybe it is self-doubt, whatever it is. But on the other side of that battlefield is the enemy, but also the people that you're meant to help, the people that are captive, the prisoners of war that you are meant to set free. And so you are going into this battle, and you're a warrior of God, and you have this purpose and this calling on your life, and you're meant to fight this problem, to solve this problem in the world, to fight the enemy in your own unique way, so you can set the people free who are struggling with that problem, who are captives of the enemy, who are the prisoners of war. And you fight that battle with the gifts that you have, the gifts that God gave you, and with the army of people, that you're leading into that battle. And you all believe in the same thing, the thing that you're fighting for, the thing that you stand for, your values. And so I'm just visualizing this, and this is the first time I've ever explained it, so it'll be much smoother in the future. But I was just like, oh my God, this makes sense. And I could already imagine the visuals and bringing people into a story. Now, this is so good from a marketing standpoint, because there's something called story brand, where the whole idea behind super successful branding is you bring people into a story and you make them the hero. You are the hero of the story. You are fighting. We are in this spiritual battle. We are fighting the enemy, and you are the warrior. You are stepping onto the battlefield. And the reason why you can fight that battle is because you have these specific gifts, and you have these values that you stand for and that you believe in. And you've got a tribe of people behind you that believe in the same thing. You're fighting for the same thing, and you're fighting this one enemy. There's this one enemy in the world that you hate more than anything else. And that enemy has prisoners of war. That enemy has people that you love that are captives. Maybe they're stuck in depression or anxiety or self-doubt, or maybe they're lost and they're unclear and they have no direction in life, but it's the enemy has got them. So you have to fight the enemy to be able to free those captives and bring them into your tribe, bring them into your army, so they could help you fight against that evil and that darkness. And we are warriors of God because we are willing to go out there and fight the enemy on all different levels. We're meant to go out there and fight the enemy in our own unique way, and fight the problem that we're meant to solve that the enemy is putting out into the world. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's self-doubt, maybe it's lack of direction, maybe it's worry, maybe it's anxiety. There's a thousand different things. but it's a spiritual war, and you go from being just a believer to being a warrior, and now you are fighting for the kingdom of God rather than the kingdom of darkness. You are destroying the kingdom of darkness. You're taking ground for the kingdom of God, and it is perfectly in alignment with your purpose. And so that's what all of that is basically. But I'm going to turn it into like a really cool visual, a really cool like system, because I was writing down like, okay, where does God have me right now? Like, where am I? Like, where does God have me right now in my life? And it's like, okay, I'm doing this one-on-one purpose coaching. I'm doing the internship. I'm taking a leadership role at church. And then I'm trying to figure out my business and, you know, all this stuff. And I'm doing videos. And I'm like, okay, so my purpose is to lead people back to God by helping them find their purpose in life. Okay, well, I have these one-on-one purpose coaching clients that I'm working with. And every call I'm just discovering a new thing to add that includes God. And so I feel like, okay, I know the purpose coaching is significant. I know it's unique. It's just the thing is, I'm not too excited about it. Like, there's something in it that's missing for me. And it just feels very, very like surgical is the word. Just like, very just like, you walk into a building and all the walls are painted white. There's no flavor to it. There's no, you know, it's like, it's just sterile. And so it's like, you know, and where does 8 Billion Lions, where does that brand fit in? You know, where does this fit into the mix? And yesterday I was like, okay, maybe I'll change the name to Warriors of God. And then Warriors of God, it's like, well, when you are a warrior of God, you just got to find your purpose, and then you understand why you're a warrior and the war that you're fighting and the battle that you're fighting and how you fight it, and, you know, what you fight for, what you stand for, what you believe in, what your gifts are, you know, what your weapons are, you know, who's your army that you're leading, because you're the captain or you're the general, you're the chief of your tribe of people. Maybe it's, you know, stay-at-home moms, or maybe it's millennials, or maybe it's people who are full of greatness but not living into it. But then throw people into this story and include God into it, and it's like, okay, that's exciting to me. That's cool to me. I could talk about that all day long. That's so exciting. That feels so good. Because the purpose coaching that I'm doing, it's freaking brilliant. It is so freaking good. It's crazy. But it's missing some soul. It is missing a storyline. It is missing this oomph. And God just gave me the answer, which is so exciting. That is so exciting. Clarity. Clarity is so good. I've been praying for clarity. And that is like awesome. And then this makes sense. Like, this goes into, you know, this brand and all that. So, yeah, I'm very inspired by that. And I'm going to turn this into something that is super amazing and powerful and just jaw-droppingly good. Because we all know the story of warriors, you know, we all know the stories of battles. We've seen movies, you know, we've seen all that stuff, the hero, the villain, what you're fighting for, what you believe in. Like, it's just all in us. We all get it. You know, it's the stories we've been told our whole lives about the hero and the hero's journey. And now this fits into it like perfectly. Dang, this is so good. Well, that's exciting. Okay, it's 5 o'clock. It's already 5 o'clock. Dang. Okay, I need to go food prep and yeah, other stuff.